Hey everyone, welcome back to the Golden Sanctuary. Before we dive into today's discussion, let me give a quick disclaimer. I am not married. I am a 23-year-old woman, single and child-free. However, I chose to speak on this because I come from a two-parent household, and both my maternal and paternal grandparents were married, just like in the case of the Curry children. This perspective allows me to understand what Ayesha Curry was actually saying, rather than what people think she said. Please be respectful in the comments. Now before I get into my thoughts, let's take a moment to read exactly what Ayesha Curry said in her interview, and I quote, "I think for us, our relationship always comes first, then we're parents," Curry said. "That works for us because then you have two happy people raising the kids in the house, so the family sector in our lives always comes first," end quote. And of course, social media had a lot to say about it. Here are some of the responses people had. The first person says, "This is why people don't get married. Priorities are misplaced and parents aren't teaching their children anymore. They're letting the world do it." The second one contains profanities and comes across quite aggressive. Please pause to read for yourself. Person 3 comes across as rude, and I will not be reading their comment. Please pause to read this one as well. Commenter number 4 says, "Didn't know Ayesha was so foolish and selfish. I'm sure Steph would have said the kids come first." The last commenter wrote this, "Smart couples know this. You can't forget and neglect the actual relationship for the kids. What's going to happen when the kids leave the house and now you realize you don't even know who the other person is because you focused on solely the kids for the past 18 years. So Ayesha Curry did an interview with People magazine, and once again the interview is outraged. And if we're being honest, at this point some people just want to be mad at her. But when you actually listen to what she said, it becomes clear people chose to misunderstand her. What she said went over some people's heads and was completely misconstrued. In her interview, Ayesha mentioned that a marriage is top priority. She explained that prioritizing her relationship with Steph is essential to cultivate a stable, loving home for their children. And yet, instead of grasping this very logical, very mature perspective, some people decided to twist her words, acting as if what she was saying is that her husband matters more than her kids. That is not what she said at all. Let me put it this way. Marriage is like a tree, and children are the fruit. If the tree is sick, it cannot produce or bear healthy fruit. A marriage that is suffering will without a doubt affect the children. That is the reality. What Ayesha was expressing is that by nurturing her marriage, she and Steph Curry can create a strong, stable foundation for their children. It's about structure, about a solid home, about both parents being on the same page, not about neglecting anyone. But let's be real. At this point, there is nothing Ayesha Curry can say that won't be met with criticism. If she says she prioritizes her husband, people are mad. If she talks about motherhood, people are mad. If she does absolutely nothing, people still find a way to be mad. It's like some people don't want to hear what she's actually saying. They want to interpret it in the worst way possible. And this is exactly why people keep their personal opinions off social media. Because once you share a part of your life, people will have something to say, whether they understand it or not. This entire situation is a cautionary tale. Sometimes it's better to keep certain aspects of your life private because the internet is always ready to judge without listening. At the end of the day, you don't have to agree with Ayesha. But if you don't have to be rude. It costs 0 rands, dollars, or pounds to scroll past something you don't like. Not every thought needs to be shared, and not every disagreement needs to be turned into outrage. So what do you think? Do you believe people intentionally misinterpret Ayesha Curry, or do you think there is a valid reason for the backlash? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any upload. Thanks for watching The Golden Sanctuary, and I'll see you in the next one.